Hi guys, and welcome back to Beacon Pines, where we are being some very, very naughty children. We have just, tortured? Yeah, there's no other word for it. Well, not really tortured, we've just interrogated. Yeah, let's stick with that. We've just interrogated Mr. Tolliver and discovered from him some information, something about a source that, could be useful. So, we're at the library here to consult our good friend Cato, who knows everything about everything, to see if we can get some information about the source. So let's do it. Hey, Cato. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we worked hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Uh-oh. Cato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do you all for? We need a favor. I already told you, Unrollo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing. We sorta don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luka tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of those asinine death records. Rollo Carter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luka's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit, J. Hartford? From the Brookville Tribune 20 years ago? That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford? That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords. Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Oh. Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. Yeah, that is a good question.
Luka's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luka shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering.
Oh, crud.
He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Oh, crud. Okay, guys. Tiptoe. Oh, we gotta be chill here. Oh, crud. Oh, no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Okay, this is not good. Does that mean Gran's found out? Maybe he woke up, escaped from this building, and left without a trace?
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luka's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luka rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed? Heh. Okay, now I can think. So, if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Okay. Alright. Are we gonna be okay with this? Is this gonna work? Well, I mean, what can we do? Let's just go to bed, I suppose. Via the garden, quickly. Now, I keep thinking we might occasion upon another charm somewhere. Okay, let's go. Oh, crud. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luka climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Oh, come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luka groaned and tried to move.
What the hell?
His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground.
What the hell was in that jam?
Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The germ. Well, we went to sleep. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luka awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
But she didn't. Did she? Not intentionally, anyway.
Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luka snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival! Okay, what do we know? We know that at this point in the timeline, in the first iteration of this year, so when we initially went to Beck's house and stayed there, initiated the rumbling sequence. So the heavens opened and it rained, and we stayed over there and were late, and as a result got in a big fight with Rollo. in that particular timeline, we basically spent the whole day, we wasted away the whole day, ended up going to the festival, had a pretty good time there, and ended up dying at the end of that sequence. So that's probably because Gran and whatever the Operation Sparkplug is, went ahead. So whatever's going down is going to be going down today, and we kind of have to stop it. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed? Put me to sleep. Whoa, ho, ho. Sly devil. Sly. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around, but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up on the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Ahem. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Oh heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his
Oh,
vest.
come on. Didn't prepare anything. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things that we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I'm dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all here together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
Oh my word. From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment. Change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through to Foul Harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And this is what change is all about. Grabbing a future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim,
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits. What?
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd,
Crud.
instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time.
Crud, so he still didn't make it.
The end.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
No.
No, I don't mean that.
We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again.
Please.
Okay. So we have some more options now during the interrogation. We've tried hard, we've got sly, we can do chill. In fact, that's the only thing we can do now. Okay, let's... I'm guessing maybe sly might be the only one that we can do, but let's try chill first.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
So, let's get back to interrogating Mr. Tolliver. I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool.
Luka walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luka, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luka, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luka glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my Grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my Gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luka, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your Gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just... all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes?
Luka gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luka looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luka began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luka. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought to...
He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Oh, crud. Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there. And let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luka opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end.
Okay, that's definitely not the...
Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
Okay, yeah, I kind of suspected it wasn't that route, but now that we've got the sly option, like, without doubt, it has to be that. Okay, so they'd run the classic good cop, sly cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luka and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Maudeville girl. Please, call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was going to be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So, it turns out we're both here to...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence?
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know that how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day, I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in the Perennial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work on that. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples?
Beck blinked slowly
Oh my
in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Well, sure, but once things get back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine, in the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered? Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies? So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Ooh! It's an anagram! Nuncre's drugstore.
Luka and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Rollo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Okay, so time to investigate Nuncreed's drugstore. Let's go. That was productive. Oh, this must be... Which one's this one again? Is this Mrs. Fratelli? You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last piece of pie. I swear, that man would be late to his own funeral. Let's hope nothing bad happened to Mr. Tolliver. Alright, but let's follow this lead for the time being. To Mr. Nuncre's drugstore. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is that insipid town festival really about? I think
Gus looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. This is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When all this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change, whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Guessing the heiress doesn't really like kids. Let's have a word with book reading lady. Knowledge, she spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. Man, so she's basically giving meta commentary. Better go to Nuncreed's. Yeah, she's basically giving meta commentary on this whole thing. Would she be kind of like the chorus, I suppose? You know, in like a Greek tragedy. Like highlighting what's going on in the scene. I don't know. Okay, come on, to Nuncreed's drugstore. Hello?
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get all the candy from? You might say, we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice, but whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's got to be more clues. Okay, let's see. How else could we get in there? Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed, no.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Kren's new drugstore. I mean, Underground Secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door, and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luka cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground Secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great, now what? I guess we... Wah!
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it! You knew that there was some secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luka, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hankatomic issue 12 were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hankatomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. Okay, let's find out. Mining Operations Alpha? You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point of when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies to this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office? That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse? Is that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. And what is this, a hazmat suit? The suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. There's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even move yet. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. 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 Awesome. You all need to come with me now. Why aren't you we aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets? I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now. I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends, back before...
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were a sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl with a sigh.
Luka, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no? Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick to villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to the sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the
Oh
children.
no! I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand.
Luka began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My Gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted in today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad inventions and big men.
Nuncreed grabbed Luka by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now, she's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in the town square. The fountain, but why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's gonna freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. Away, as far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So... we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town. Well done, Beck, well done.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera, as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carry her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
That was... intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. Didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow up something here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up with Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Alright, so we're catching up with Nuncreed. Right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we are catching up with Nuncreed. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.